Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the fifth round of Season 17 in Division 2. We are here for the Qatar Grand Prix. My name is VNT Felix Mon. I'll be taking you through tonight's action. We have got a 17-car grid for another very exciting installment in Season 17 of Division 2, like I said. Yeah, no reserve drivers for today, only the mains. A couple of guys missing today's race. Most notably, I would say, is Edwin, who is unable to race today. Apart from that, Desi also not here tonight, as well as Yusuf, who was supposed to race but has not turned up. Yeah, Qatar Grand Prix, so I assume that we finally are gonna have a dry race. We've got a dry qualifying at least. Right, I'm reading. Mihai is saying thank fuck, Lanky is saying full wet, and Sean is saying dry. Raul is saying restart please. So I believe we've got a dry race here. Gabriel is celebrating. Okay, it's a dry race. Finally, for the first time in forever, a completely dry race in Division 2. And of course, I mean, it is Qatar. How would it possibly be raining? So for the first time since Australia, for the first time in 3 weeks, we are getting to see the pace of the drivers in completely dry conditions. No wet setups, no transition periods, no nothing. It's all just old school, yeah, normal Formula 1 running. Which, I mean, usually I am more excited when I see rain, but after how many wet races we've had now in Division 2, actually I'm kind of happy that it's finally staying dry for once, and we get to maybe see something a little bit different, because it has been kind of the same story every single race the last 3 weeks, with Sully being able to, well, at Qatar completely run away with it, and at Hungary and Belgium at least he was challenged by PC Woolley, but still he was in control of the race for most of it, and PC Woolley only caught him near the end and wasn't able to actually make a move on him. So yeah, 3 wins in a row for Sully. And now that we finally got a dry race, maybe someone can actually put up a fight against him. Or maybe he's going to confirm his wet weather pace that he's been showing in the last couple of weeks now with a performance in the dry as well. He is at this point 45 points ahead in the championship, 90 points Sully has scored so far. He's finished 3rd in the first race, and since then a win every single week in Division 2. The closest driver to him is PC Woody on 48 points, so actually it's 42, not 45. Then is Sean, who's on 45, and then we already have Viral on 34. Of course, Viral with a very strong start in the season as well. Both Red Bulls really, yeah, have gotten on very well with these wet conditions. But now we can finally see if, well, I was gonna say if the Red Bull is capable of doing more than just swimming, but a bull can't really swim, can it? It's like one of the few things a bull can't do normally, but maybe we have a special breed in these Red Bulls. First lap of this lobby from Marcelo here. He's already halfway through the lap, 31.0 sector 1. Our reliable lobby host hot lap through most of the lap here, not using the medium and medium and overtake mode, rather just sticking it on hot lap. And he's actually at 100% ES most of this lap, and now he's burning a little bit of overtake down towards the last sector. And we've got a purple sector, of course. He is the first one on the lap. Unfortunately, I've got the sector times covered by someone inviting me for a lobby. Not sure why anyone would be inviting me at this point. Currently not able to practice, sorry guys. Got more important things to do. So, Marcelio down towards the line. DS enabled, that's going to be a 23.793, and I can already tell you that lap will not stay at the front for very long. There we go, 23.462 from Action Rick. Why is Pix bringing me? Ah, you need an invite, okay. That can be arranged. And now we've got the first competitive laps in as well. Mihai 22.2, Kuku 21.5, Gabri 21.2. Getting closer to those 120s, and I do think we'll be in them very shortly. But Gabri with a very strong time there early on, 3:10s to Kuku, who we know is a very fast driver as well. Aussie 22.4. Keep an eye on Sodi. He's coming to another lap, our current championship leader. And no matter what happens today, he will come out of this race championship leader as well. .263 to beat. Currently Gabri on pole. Let's see if Sully can change that. No, he can't. 21.683, third place. An Italian 1-2-3. Viral near the end of the lap as well. So we'll stay on board with him, see if Red Bull can continue their strong form. Has to lift in the second to last corner, can't take it fully flat, unlike what we've seen from the others so far. So, Viral, down towards the line, burning overtake, DRS enabled, and over the line, 22.638, 1.4 seconds off pole. That is not something Viral will be happy about whatsoever. We've got Sean coming up in the end of Sector 2 here as well. Let's keep an eye on him. Second in the standings, 57.633 middle sector. Right behind him was Flavors, and he's got a 57.932, so slightly slower than Sean. The tiniest of lifts, downshift to second, get the car rotated. Second gear? No, the sixth gear, sorry. Definitely don't take that corner in second gear, you will just brake track someone. Sean, over the line, 21.825, that's 4th position for Sean Will. Flavors, 22.127, that's 7th. And with that, I believe Marcelio is currently on a hot lap. Yep, he's 4 and a bit tenths up. And he might be the only one. Everybody else is currently out on track, it's just done a lap. So, Marcelio down towards the last corner. He's gonna need 3/10 to beat Action Rig. A second to beat Viral ahead. So we shall see. Over the line for Marcelio, that's going to be a 23.233, and that's enough for P11. And now we've got PC Woody, also one of the fastest drivers in this division. On his first lap of the session, a 29.966 first sector. That is purple according to the game, and it is purple indeed. He's got 2/10 on Gabri, who's currently on pole. PC Woody with a rapid start to the lap. So we'll be keeping a close eye on this. Scotsman in the McLaren. That looked very good. Middle sector. It's going to be a 57.0. And that's very quick, isn't it? Gabri, 27.2. And PC Woody's actual middle sector was a 27.1. So he is 2/10 up in the first, 1/10 down in the second. PC Woody could be on his way to pole position here with a good final sector. Of course, I was in the race vector for most of it, but what I saw did look good. And over the line, that's a 21.117 indeed. It is provisional pole for PC Woody. Sets himself ahead of Gabri, ahead of Kuko, ahead of Sully, ahead of Sean and everybody else. The next car across the line would have been Pix, but he's invalidated. And with that, we've currently got no one on a hot lap. The next car actually starting one is Mihai, currently in 9th. Wrapping the Mercedes badge on his own tonight. Edwin not here and no reserve available either who could take the place of Edwin. So Mihai left all on his own. He's gonna actually go to the middle of the track, down the main straight. Does he know something I don't? No idea. Back to the outside for turn 1 of course, braking at the 50-meter board, get the car turned in nicely and back on the power. Now, braking at the 50-meter board, or just after it for turn 2, 5th gear all the way through, back on the power, a bit of overtake mode on the exit. And down towards the double right-hander, should be in 5th gear. And how is he gotten away with that car? That looked way far inside. Braking the 50-meter board once more for the hairpin. Get the car stopped in the apex and back on the power. A little bit of autotech mode. Down towards the next long right-hander. The front left really suffering a lot on this track. A lot of fast right-handers that really are gonna ask a lot of those left-hand tires. So the front left and the rear left especially are gonna really struggle with tire wear in the race. And for Mihai, he's just invalidated on a straight, and that's one of the least necessary invalidations I've ever seen. And he'll be quite annoyed with that, because even after he slowed down there, he was only 1.5 tenths down on the lap, so I think he had quite a bit of time in the delta, if I had to guess. Aussie, the next one who's on the lap, he's already gained almost 2 tenths in the first sector alone. So could be on his way to beating Mihai Flavors for those 9th and 8th positions. Currently in 10th on a 22.420. So he's gonna need 2 tenths to get even ahead of Mihai. But of course he's got 2 sectors to go. Well, he's about to finish the second sector, he's got 1 sector to go, and we'll see what he's done so far. Up by 3 tenths. And that means he is on for P8 here. Maybe he can find a little bit more time even. Go after Google River and Overwise. Does he keep it flat? Not quite. The tiniest of lifts. Just making sure he stays in the track limits. And down towards the line for Aussie. That's a 21.991 and he goes 6th fastest. Guga though also down to the line right this moment and he goes 4th fastest, 21.551, exactly 1,000 Ben's teammate, while Sully just jumped into 3rd place as well, the 21.422. Gabri also up by 2 tenths in the meanwhile. And he goes over the line with a 21.074, reclaims pole position from Peaceably. The two of them seeming definitely the fastest right now. The gap from Gabri to Peaceably less than half a tenth. The gap from Peaceably to Sully over 3 tenths. Next car across the line, the Ferrari of Lanky Brown, so far without a lap in this lobby. Phantom Fox also on an out lap, so both Ferraris out in time to maybe do 2 laps in this session actually. So a little bit earlier than we're used to. Not even close to being flat from the second to last corner. Braking at the 50-meter board. 4th gear on the exit. A little bit of overtake used down towards the line as well now. Everything he has left, and that's a 23.533. Lanky will not be happy with that one bit. That puts him last of the drivers who've done lap time. The only ones behind him, Pix and Phantom, who both have not actually put a time in yet. Sean with a purple middle sector. 3 tenths up. That puts him in the 21.5 range. He's got one of the Ferraris ahead of him. Gets out of his way just about in time, thankfully. And for Sean, as he goes down the line, what is that going to be? 21.476, that's enough for 4th position. Half a tenth behind Sully. Just under a tenth away from Kuku and Guga in 5th and 6th. Pix went 12 fastest on his time. The next car across the line is Sia Haas. That is Garabi come back to the pits, and then we have got Lanky on the in lap. Then we've got Flavors. He is 3 seconds down in the first sector, so not a push lap from him either, I believe. And after that, the Ferraris, that would be Phantom Fox, I think. Let's just check. Yep, Phantom Fox, there we go. Also on his first lap of the session, his teammate in 16th. Hopefully for Phantom this can go a little bit better. Qatar, not really a track you want to be starting at the back at if you can avoid it. Only one real overtaking opportunity down towards turn 1. A 58.4 minute sector is not good though at all. We saw 57 lows earlier. He does keep it fully flat, but with a lot of turning angle. And he misses the apex in the last corner completely. Finishing that lap, it's going to be a 23.035. It's enough for 13th. But of course, Phantom Fox can have much higher standards than that. Sean into the pits, Kuku into the pits. We've got 3 minutes to go here. 3 minutes 45 seconds. I mean, I think Yeah, Lanky's already back in the pits. He'll definitely get another lap in. For Phantom, it could be close if he'll make it. He has to hurry back to the pit as fast as he can. He'll probably come in around 2:30. And if he rushes, he can come back out at like, yeah, he has to get a move on, but he can get one more lap in on a fresh tire. He'll get into the pits at like 2:30, like I said, and then come out at like 1:45. So he might just about be fine to get another lap on a fresh tire in. But he is gonna need to gain, yeah, a full second really to get into the top 10 here. The moment the top 10 would mean 22.2 from Mihai, but of course there will be a little bit of improvement coming from everyone. They are all in the pit lane still. Marcelio is the first one out. Everybody else, yeah, just now exiting the pits there. We can see movement at the V-Cup garage. That's Bazooka coming out. Or the Saubers as well, that would be always. Only Sauber in this race today, Yusuf not in attendance. And Phantom Fox, I assume, back to the pits. Yeah, and he comes in at pretty much bang on 2:30, by the way. I am so unbelievably smart. I just know so much wheel. If he now comes out at 1:45 as well, I want a medal. Marcelio on his way to start that final lap. At the moment, 15th on a 23.233. Got a yellow flag in sector 1, that's just people slowing down on their outlaps. And here we go with Marcelio. He's got a little bit of traffic though, coming out the pit lane there. And that might be a problem for him, because the traffic also doesn't have a whole lot of time left here. They are not really gonna be jumping out of his way there. He gets into a little bit of a pocket of space, thankfully for him, just ahead of that Haas that just came out. And a little bit of space to the next group up ahead. 1 minute 40 to go. We've got Action Rig still in the pits, as well as Phantom Fox. Is Phantom Fox gonna get another lap in? Is he gonna try? I mean, he has to come out the pits now. And I don't think he will come out. I think Phantom Fox is done. Marcelio is already abandoning this lap. Now we've got Mihai, who's on a lap. Currently in 10th on a 22.229 for the Mercedes man. Always, Aussie has started the laps as well now. 1 minute to go, everybody about to come over the line. Phantom Fox retires from the session in the pit lane, he's done. Mihai 25 thousandths up in the first sector. Next one, Aussie. He is 2 tenths down in the first sector. After that we've got Always, but he's just invalidated. Sully coming through sector 1 as well now. Gabri. That's Bazooka at the end of sector 1. He is up by 2 tenths. A good improvement from Bazooka. After that I believe that's one of the Alpines. Oh, I have no idea what car that is then. Sully 46 thousandths up. Gabri 10 thousandths down. Let's go on board with Mihai as he's coming to the end of the lap. 41 thousandths down in the middle sector. Don't think Mihai is coming in with an improvement here. He's already very low in ES as well, so it's unlikely really he'll be gaining through this last sector. But we are gonna wait and see anyways. Over the line, 22.263, no improvement from Mihai. Next car over the line, Aussie, he goes back to the pit lane. Not an improvement from him. Always hasn't validated. Behind that, it is Bazooka. 2.5 tenths up in that middle sector. Currently 14 with 23.114. Should be able to beat Phantom Fox, but I think that's about it. The gap ahead, too big. He just go to 13th. After that, is that Sean? Pix then? I have no idea. Yeah, it was Pix. Then, Sully, third fastest. Gabri improves on his lap time, 21.069. Can peaceably do something about it. We're still on board peaceably now to the end of the session. Needs a half a tenth improvement to get that pole position back off Gabri. Maybe someone else can spring a surprise. I think that's the two. Peaceably up by 2 tenths. Now the two Alpines coming over the line. Guga and Kuko down to the line. That is going to be a 21.479 for Guga, and for Kuko a 5.22. Guga beats Kuko. Then we've got a big group coming to lunch by the line. That's Flavors, Marcelio, and Williams over the line. Flavors into 7th. Viral stays in 11th. Then the McLaren of PC, when he goes top, 120.96 for the first driver, the only driver in the 120s. Mihai and Blanky Brown going around slowly. PC was the last one over the line, and The last shall be the first. Pisciuli on pole position here in Qatar, followed by Gabri, and that's very close there, just over a tenth that Pisciuli put on Gabri at the end. After that, though, we've got a well, a considerable gap, I would say. It's not massive, but it's definitely something that Pisciuli and Gabri have put on Sully there. Sully with a 21.296 in third. It's not as fast as he would be in the rain, I would say, but certainly still the same pace we are used to from Sully near the front. Then we've got Sean in fourth, with Guga and Kuku in fifth and sixth, the two Alpines right next to the Flavors with a strong seventh. Then a big gap to Ossi in the first round, the 22s, always in ninth, keeping the form from his great P4 in Spa. Then Mihai, Viral, Pix, Bazooka, Marcelio, Phantom, Action Rig, and Lanky Brown rounds out the grid for the Qatar Grand Prix. Right, had a sip to drink, ready for the race. It should be a one-stop. That will be the fastest strategy. The thing is, it'll be very important to stay in dirty air, which sounds silly, but in this game actually, dirty air works kind of the wrong way around. It's actually significantly better for your tires to drive in dirty air than if you drive in clean air. Why that is the case, I have no idea. Is it possible to turn off the in-game commentator a bit better? Hopefully it is. Let's see. Then I can actually talk over the formation lab. So yeah, that will be a thing to look out for, whether drivers are able to do a one-stop, because it is sort of touch and go with getting into puncture territory. We had a puncture in Realistic Racing League in Qatar as well from Phantom Fox. Of course, that's in a realistic Williams, so the tire will be slightly worse than I think on an equal car, I imagine at least. But we won't know for sure, and I think it's worked. I think actually I've got the in-game commentator shut up. That's perfect. Mostly mediums, a couple of hards from Sean, Guga, Flavors, and Phantom. So yeah, the ideal strategy is a medium hard. But of course, if you get into trouble with that and you have to worry about punctures, then yeah, you might have to switch to a two-stop strategy. The pit lane though is, well, for one it's quite long, and for two it goes past the main straight, so the cars that are not pitting are gaining loads of time on you because they are just driving at full speed at 300 something kph while you are driving at 80, so of course you are losing loads of time, much more than if you would be going past a corner somewhere. So yeah, we will see how that plays out later on in the race with the strategy, but for the first couple laps at least, it'll be the usual fighting out there. Pisciuli on the right hand side, Gabri on the left. We are ready for the race start. It's lights out and away we go here in Qatar, and Pisciuli with a good start. We've got Sully in behind, already looking at the outside of Gabri. Pisciuli covers the inside, goes back to the outside. Gabri now with an open inside line, does not die for it. Sully has a little look around the outside. That's never going to work out for him though. And then it's one of the Alpines up in the fourth, and that is Kuko, who's already had a good start past Ossi. Then Guga into sixth, with Sean down to seventh already. Those hard tires, of course, a little bit of a struggle on the start here, and that's always on the move on Flavors for P9. Flavors going deep, and Viral slips through as well. But on the opening sector, it looks all clean so far. Does not see any wings flying. That's always a little mistake, and he drops a couple of places down to P12 now, side by side with Phantom Fox. Trying to go back to Flavors as well. That's going to be going on for a little while longer. There you can see the two of them side by side. Now Phantom Fox trying to attack Flavors around the outside, with Pixar getting involved. An absolutely beautiful midfield battle here going on the opening lap of the Qatar Grand Prix. Pix goes deep into the corner. Phantom Fox slips through on the inside and takes 12th position. That's a winglet flying from Pix, the front right end plate on the Williams, just flying off into the distance. At the front, Pisciuli already 8/10 steer of Gabri. It's a great opening lap here. And Gabri, he, if anything, has to look behind to make sure he stays ahead of Sully. Best start from Fox. Aussie as well, up 3 places. Kuko up 2. Really good starts from them. But Aussie's already struggling to stay in contact with the top 4. He's over a second back from Kuko. Kuko, Sully and Gary all well within a second of the car ahead though. PC really not able to drive away here yet. Let's see if he can pull a second on Gary this lap. If he can, that would be absolutely crucial. Of course, we talked about it before the restart on the formation lap. The dirty air is quite crucial to have it in this race. So PC Bunny, if he is leading the whole way, he is gonna struggle with tires at some point. But in the same way, if he can make sure that he gaps Gary and doesn't give Gary dirty air, that will be bad news for Gary's tires. I feel like an idiot saying that, because it should work the other way around. You know, that that's how it works in real life. If you're in clean air, your tires wear less, and if you're in dirty air, you have higher temperatures, you have higher tire wear, but it's just the complete opposite. Simply because my guess is dirty air doesn't affect the tires at all, and just because you drive slower when you have dirty air, you get less wear, and the actual like airflow that normally would cause the increased tire wear in real life just does nothing. At least that's what I guess. You'd have to ask a Codemaster's Dev or something for an actual answer on why that is the case. But yeah, firmly the top 4 have driven away from the rest of the field already on the start of lap 3. Aussie 2 seconds back from Kuko, and he's got a little train behind him of Guga, Sean, Mihai, Viral and Allwise. And once more a little gap, Flavors on the hard compound tire here, getting put under pressure by the Ferraris, Phantom and Lanky. At the moment though, Flavors still able to hold on. Maybe Phantom will go for it later on down the straight at the end of this lap. Of course, Guga and Sean would have really been hoping that Aussie is able to stay with the top 4, keep in contact with them, because once they make their pit stop, they will have the advantage, of course. Starting on the hards and later on having the faster medium tire. But if those top 4 drive away too much, I mean, that gap could become insurmountable. And already a 3-second time penalty for Allwise, multiple track limit warnings. Of course, that's going to be quite a big issue as well around here, Qatar. A track that is definitely quite easy to get some track limit warnings on. You have to be so precise with those track limits to get the optimal lap times. And then when you make the slightest misjudgment, you immediately get hit with a warning. But a very calm start to the race. Nothing really major happening. The top 4 all just staying in order. A nice little Sunday drive, and it looks the same really in the second train behind Aussie. No one is trying anything so far. Someone is trying something. That's Phantom Fox on Flavors. Trying to slip through on the inside through the double right, but Flavors holds on around the outside. Phantom Fox maybe vulnerable to his own teammate there, as Lanky is sniffing at his gearbox. Lanky, of course, on the mediums. You would think that he has to be advantage right now. But Phantom Fox still able to hold on against him. Picks in behind, he's got a bit of wing damage, so he is just trying the best he can to hold on to that 14th place. I don't think really he has got much of a hope of actually going after Lanky. Gap at the front already 3.5 seconds. The top 4, yeah, in a world of their own today. So I think, unless there is a well-timed safety car for the likes of Guga and Sean, Phantom Fox and Flavors as well, of course, but they're even further down. The top 4, I think, is already pretty much locked in. We've got Guga with a move on Austin there, around the outside, down towards turn 1. And he gets the move done. Under braking, down the straight. Now up into 5th place, and in clean air as Phantom Fox does the same with Flavors, up into 11th. 4 seconds gap from Guga to Kuko. I don't think the hards will be faster than the mediums just yet. But he's gonna have the chance to try and chase after that leading pack. Maybe he can get the gap back down. Of course, he will get a quite significant undercut as well. The medium starters. They will pit around lap 12 usually. while the hard runners pit around lap 17. So a 5-lap undercut, roughly, for the guys on the mediums compared to the guys on the hards, which will give them an even bigger gap. Guga is not able to simply drive away from Aussie. The gap to the leaders also increasing, so does seem to be more confirmation that the top 4 are in a world of their own in terms of pace here. Aussie just about able to hold on to DRS crucially, giving him a fighting chance against Sean down the straight, but Sean is still fairly close. So let's see if Sean has got the opportunity to make the move happen. He's gonna burn some oil take. Aussie is derating already. Sean is gonna keep burning, and down the inside into turn 1. Late on the brakes for Sean, and he gets the move. Sean up to the 6th. Lanky Brown already in the pit lane, and a swap to the hard compound tire. No wing change, at least I couldn't see one. Wait, I can check easily. No wing change. Normal 2.2 second pit stop from Lanky Brown. So a very early stop from the mediums onto the hards from the Ferrari man. That tire is not going to last 23 laps, I can guarantee you that. So that's a 2-stop strategy from Lanky, and with there being no wing damage, it's yeah, a planned 2-stop, of course. He was struggling, I think, a little bit with traffic. So maybe he decided, fuck this. I know I can't go to the end on a 1-stop. I have too much time there, maybe. So I might as well just get a really early stop to a 2-stop, get out of that traffic, and put some fast lap times in. Hopefully some others are going for a 2-stop as well, because of course, the ones on the 1-stop, there's no chance of catching them. I can tell you that for sure. It'll be so crucial if you can make that tire last. You have to be really smooth on the tires this year. That's a big advantage for the drivers on the wheel, of course. I mean, quite simply, it's just a lot easier to be smooth on the wheel rather than on the controller. We've got Gabri getting closer and closer to PC Woody. Have to keep an eye on that in terms of a battle for the lead. Aussie low on ERS, but I don't think Mihai is in a position to make a move this lap. Maybe he'll have him next time around. A swap for 14th there, Senio drives past Pix. Pix has dropped out of DRS and he's got no wing anymore on the right hand side. So, not much of a fighting chance for him there. Lanky Brown already gained a second, I believe, on the train up ahead. Gap was at 19 point something, I think, earlier. Now it's 18.2. So the gap coming down fast. We'll see where he comes out once those guys make their pit stops. 7 laps into the race. And everybody, of course, will just be trying to tire save as much as humanly possible. Such a difficult race for the tires, for the drivers, and that's definitely a track warning for Gabri there. So many track warnings already. Actually, Gabri didn't get one for that, what? That's interesting. On Main Street once more, but Gabri has not got the EAS to make a move on PC Woody. They are all about 7-10 away from each other. The top 4 are not going to be seeing any movement there this lap. Sean has dropped Aussie out of the EAS. And a 3-second time penalty now to Action Rig for multiple warnings. Sean might be in a position to make a move on Guga River happen. And there we go, Sean moves up on the 5th in the background. Mihai drives past Aussie for 7th. Now the gap from Sean to the top 4, 6.1 seconds. Let's see if he can start chasing after them. It's a big gap. A big task. P5 might be, yeah, everything that's possible for Sean today. Vandenfox also in a similar position, chasing after Always for P10. 3.1 seconds gap. Always being pulled along by the cars ahead. Of course, in these corners, it's more of a disadvantage to have that dirty air. It will slow you down. Question is, we already know Vandenfox is struggling with tires from RL. There he got a puncture. So now if he's without dirty air, that could really hurt him. Lanky already committed to the 2-sub. I mean, per the regulations he can go to the end, but there's absolutely no chance the tire lasts 23 laps, and if it does, it's a miracle. So we are going to be seeing another pit stop from Lanky, I'm fairly certain. Still no movement in the top 4. Gabri quite low on ES actually. And now we've got Mihai in the pits on lap 9. That is a little bit early for a for one stopper, I think. So we'll see what he goes on to. And that's another medium, so that's also a 2-stopper from Mihai. And the crucial question is now, where does he come out in relation to Lanky Brown? Because Lanky already pitted. He was one train behind Mihai before that stop, I believe. And I do think Mihai is going to come out quite far ahead, because it's already a pit exit. You can only just see Lanky Brown now coming across the main straight. So yeah, Mihai well ahead of Lanky on the same 2-stop strategy. Yeah, the gap about 5 seconds between the two of them now. Of course, Mihai on fresher tires and on mediums compared to hards, he will only drive away from Lanky here. Gabri almost out of the SP Sivoli. Scotsman trying to break himself free at the front, getting control of this race. He needs to make up some points on Sully if he wants to have a chance in this title fight, and the same goes for Sean, but right now Sean is only losing ground. He's up to 7 seconds of a gap now to the top 4, and at this point the mediums are surely slower than the hards. But yeah, those top 4 proving to have great pace, and also of course the DRS just pulling each other along, helping each other out a little bit. And the time penalty now for picks, multiple warnings as well. Guga goes back past Sean for P5. Viral and Owise both using Oltec all the way down the straight. Could be a 3-wide situation down towards turn 1. Owise on the inside, Viral swoops around the outside, and Aussie gets passed by both of them. Owise up into 7th there, making 2 places in 1 corner. Phantom Fox now getting closer and closer with Flavors in tow. Mihai and Lanky Brown chasing after Action Rig, the first one of the, what I presume at this point are the one-stopping drivers. I believe everyone bar Mihai and Lanky is going for a one-stop. I mean, why would you start in the hards otherwise? And the guys in the mediums have gone, yeah, I would say far enough to go to the end on the hard from here. I mean, 19 laps on the hard would definitely be a struggle, but it's possible. And of course, odds are they're going to like lap 11, lap 12. I think that's the ideal pit window. Top 4 are really pushing now. They are all just about within the DRS range still. And PC, well, he's got so much ERS left. Yeah, look at the ERS comparison. Gabri's into the pits now. And DC Rowell now with the 3-second time penalty. Gabri with the undercut on his rivals. That's going to be a fairly long hard stint. And that will mean a struggle towards the end of the race on tire wear. But it can be worth it if you can get ahead here and stay ahead. Despite the fact that he had dirty air the whole way around, he had to pit before PC Woody. Rowell is in as well on this lap, and he goes on the hard compound. So both Gabri and Rowell, I presume, going to the end of the race here. Gabri coming out in clean air, crucially. He's got 3.5 seconds to Bazooka up ahead, and it's just ahead of Marcelio. Viral also in some nice clean air, or is he? There comes Lanky Brown, but he's just behind him. So Viral with a 6.5 seconds buffer to the next car. He can also use the pace of those fresh tires to undercut his opponents. Picks into the pits as well, with I presume a wing change. Yep, front wing change for Picks there in the pit lane. PC now has actually, of course, broken DRS with Gabri pitting. Solely 1.8 seconds back. And this could then be PC Wooli's chance to break away from Sully and Kuko. Of course, Gabri with the undercut will certainly be, well, at the very least, in DRS, and odds are ahead of PC Wooli. PC Wooli going another lap. Sully as well. Kuko's in. So an undercut from Kuko on both of them as well. And a 2-lap undercut from Gabri. Of course, Kuko and Sean staying out. Owise could be in this lap, and he is in this lap. We've got a yellow flag at the last corner. Aussie! Aussie with a puncture! Front left puncture for Aussie, and he goes way off into the runoff. I mean, good news for him, the pit lane is right there. And he speeds as well as the car just wouldn't slow down at all with the front left puncture. Lanky Brown with a 3-second penalty. For only 12 laps into the race, we've already seen the first tire blow up. And that shows you the danger that we have here in Qatar. He I guess he only just reached 80% tire wear. The tire can blow up from 80% onwards this year. And it's cost him loads of time, of course. He comes out, well, just behind, just before Marcelio. Lanky Brown on that two-stroke strategy has come out right behind Brown. Otherwise, Mihai is actually quite far ahead of those guys and currently battling Action Rig for P10. Now got another yellow flag! Is that PC Woody? PC Woody with a tire blowout! The leader of this race! He's gone a lap too long and he's blown the front left tire and he's gonna crawl back to the pit lane and lose so much time here. PC Woody, his race goes up in flames, down and down, and we've got another puncture, I believe, Action Rig! Or has he just spun? Has he spun or is that a puncture? I think he's fine. Yeah, he just had a spin, but still. What is going on in this Grand Prix? Sully pitting for the mediums, for the hards, sorry, he just about made to the pit lane. Bazooka is also going on these old mediums and he goes off them. But for Pisivoli, he had this race in complete control. He just went one lap too long on those tires. And it's cost him. Cost him dearly. And the lead of the race, of course, goes to Garby now. The next car, Kuko, 2.5 seconds back, and then we've got Sully. And that maybe confirms the two-stop strategy being the way to go for Lanky and Mihai. I mean, I still stand by the fact that it's significantly slower, the two-stop. But yeah, you run this risk if you did run the one-stop. That PC Woody and Aussie just fell into both McLarens actually. So, not the best of days if you're a McLaren fan. PC Woody now stuck in the train as well between rival Always and Lanky Brown. And a lot of work to do if he wants to get back into the podium positions here. An absolute nightmare for PC Woody. And the race goes down the drain just like that. In a matter of moments, of seconds. The tire blows up and it's the worst situation to be in really, because as a driver, when that happens, you've already lost, there's nothing you can do anymore. Lanky Brown with a 3-second time penalty now as well. Lead of the race at the moment, of course, between Sean and Guga. They have not pit yet, but the effective lead of the race is Garby by 2 seconds to Kuko now. Could this be redemption day for Garby? He's had a horrid season so far, especially last week at Spa. The lowest ever finishing position in Division 2. Excluding DNF, that is. No one has ever finished 19th or lower and actually finished the race. A record that Garby really didn't want to set. And PC now with a 3-second time penalty as well. As he goes for the move on rival, late on the brakes, down the hairpin. And he's gonna get it done, it looks like. He's got the outside line to the next corner. And he swoops around the outside there, PC. But he has gotten a 3-second time penalty in the process of that overtake. Just cut the corner, I believe, as he was trying to find a way to do a nice little switchback on rival. Down the double right-hander. And yeah, just going slightly over those track limits. Garby is now called his teammate Flavors. I believe we'll be seeing a harsh team order here shortly. I mean, why would Flavors try and hold him up? DRS enabled. Flavors stays on the left-hand side. And Garby drives past him. 3-second time penalty now to Phantom Fox. Now, crucially, Flavors is the one in between Garby and his opponents in this race, Kuko and Sully. And here we have a move from PC on Always. Up into 8th. Next car up ahead, 4.5 seconds to Mihai. Of course, Mihai on the two-stop strategy. And after that is 9.5 to Sully. So PC with a lot of work to do to get back into the fight for another position here. He's gonna get Mihai on strategy and then, yeah, a 13-second gap to the next car, of course. He's got Guga and Sean, who's still racing. But for PC, this could now be a very, very lonely race. Flavors is being caught by Kuko right in the last sector here. And he's gonna burn some overtake mode, of course, He has got no reason to let Kuko go. He's gonna try and help his teammate here if he can. And that's well within his right to defend the position. Kuko with the understeer from the dirty air goes completely off track. Sean now in the pits quite early. That's a very long stint on the medium. I mean, we've seen PC Woody and Aussie get tire blows on lap 11 and 12 of medium stint. And Sean wants to run, what, 13, 14 laps, I believe, on the medium compound. Kuko now with the DRS should be able to get the move and flavors done, but there comes Sully as well, through the middle of them both. Kuko squeezes him, and Sully goes over the front right tire of flavors, goes off the track. And that's, I would say, a questionable move from Kuko. He had 2 cars on his outside, and he, squeezed Sully into flavors. Now Sully's gonna have to try and get past flavors in the middle sector somewhere, because flavors will lose him loads of time. Sully sneaks up the inside, what a move by Sully. But he gets a 3-second time penalty as he has a moment of Austin on the exit, and just goes that tiny bit wide. Gabriel now with a 2.8-second gap to Kuko, another 1.2 seconds to Sully, and Sully is with a time penalty. Gabriel is in a very, very good position here. The only question is, 5 lap old hards, 13 laps to go. We've seen 2 tire blowouts so far this race. I don't want to jinx it, but he has got to look out. He has to make sure to save this tire, to not put too much stress on that front left. Be really gentle on the turn-ins, early on the brakes, do some lift and coasting, and just be really, really nice on that tire to make sure it lasts. Guga is also in already. Both Guga and Sean are surely going to be in trouble with tire wear at the end. I think they've pit too early. Especially Sean. Sean on the back of Mihai. 1.6 seconds. How is PC when he caught up so fast to Mihai? I mean, it's Mihai, but come on. That's crazy. There we have Sean with the DRS going past Mihai. And crucially, Guga River comes out behind Mihai. He's got himself with that 1 lap undercut. Just about ahead of PC Woody still. Sean already has broken the DRS to Mihai. The gap to the hard runners now 9.9 seconds, and that's probably not a gap that he can overcome in these last 12 laps. Especially as his tire will run very close to puncture territory, and I'm not confident that his tire is making it to the end. I'm very worried about Sean's tires. As well as Guga. Flavors as well has gone in quite early for his of mediums. And then Gabriel and Raul also picks. Kuko always Aussie again, Marcelio. This could be a nail-biting finish, as we have to hope for everyone that their tires can last. Because I am not 100% confident that anyone's tires are making the end here. We've got a pit stop from Mihai, the second pit stop of this race. He's gonna go into the hards now, I believe. He's done 2 mediums so far, so he has to go on the hards. Really, the soft, I mean, it's not an option. We've already seen the medium blow up after 11 laps. I'm not gonna go on the soft for 11 laps. There we go. Hard compound for Mihai. And that will bring him to the end of the race. The question is where he comes out. He won't be too far away from some points here. He's gonna come out in 14th. Lanky Brown also already made a second pit stop. Yep, 14th place for Mihai. So he has got a bit of work to do to catch back up to Flavors, who's currently in 10th. But I would say it's not without it's not impossible for Mihai to get himself some points from this race. PC running now locked in the battle with Guga River for 5th place, trying to recover from that puncture at the end of the first stint. The gap from Sean to Sonny has come down slightly, but nowhere near enough that Sonny needs to be concerned, even with a 3-second time penalty. The top 3 in control. Sonny, Kuku and Gabriel seems to be the podium when it gets today. And I mean, Sean has already got 3 laps on those mediums. Kuka should be far enough away from PC really to prevent any sort of movement happening this lap. And you would think Kuka has a tyre advantage for now at least, so he should be able to hold on to that 5th place, at least for the moment. I think eventually it will swing back in favor of Visiboli. And I think that's when we'll be seeing a move, but Visiboli of course has got a 3-second penalty for track limits, which I don't think he'll be able to drive out that gap to Kuka unless that medium like drops off completely. But I mean, it's not like the hard doesn't wear either, so the hard will also have quite a bit of wear come the end of the race. The top 3 are moving closer and closer together. Sully is 1.2 behind Kuka, Kuka 1.2 behind Gabri. Those gaps are coming down. And Gabri, indeed, may have pitted too early, as Kuka is now in the EAS range to his Italian compatriot. 3 Italians actually way out the front. Gabri, Kuka and Sully. It's a great day if you're an Italian Division 2 fan. Well, if you ignore the Ferraris who are having especially Lanky having a horrid race. Phantom down in 8th as well, he would certainly be hoping for a little more than that. But he's still got some laps to go to make up more places. Of course, Phantom. Pretty much, I don't think I've ever seen Phantom actually go backwards in the race. He always goes forwards. I mean, well, he can't really go backwards when he never qualifies, but you know what I mean. But in the midfield it's very, very calm, really, no one is close to anyone. Everyone is just doing their laps, conserving the tires, making sure to be really nice to them, to try and bring them to the end. Especially Aussie and PC, of course, will be very motivated to make sure what happened at the end of stint 1 won't happen again at the end of the race. It's going to cost Aussie, I think, a chance to score some points this race. He is yeah, down in 12th with the penalty, and about 4.5 seconds away from Flavors in 10th. So it doesn't look like Aussie is going to be getting any points from this race. Mihai is now on the back of Marcelio. Has to try and get past Thun here so he can start chasing after Aussie and Bazooka as well. Marcelio though is not trying to jump out the way. He holds P13 for now. Mihai looking for any sort of gap that he can stick his car into. The top 3 coming onto the main straight, very close together here. Gabi has got a lot of EAS still to defend from Kuko, so he should be able to hold on for at least another lap. But he's gonna come under lots of pressure from Kuko and Sully, who have got better tires than he does. Mihai still in the back of Marcelio, hasn't found the way past him through the middle sector, waiting for the DAS it seems. Marcelio all over the place there. Phantom Fox now with a pit stop. He's also on a two-stop strategy here, doesn't want to go to the end on those mediums. And he will come out the pits, oh, I believe somewhere behind Pix. So with 8 laps to go, a lot of work to do for Phantom Fox, as Mihai makes the move from Marcelio. DA is enabled, and that's an easy pass for P13. And now we have Phantom Fox coming out the pit lane in P15. A lot of work to do to get back into the points paying positions, the two-stop strategy. I mean, even the guys who had punctures like Aussie and PC Wooly, I think are better off one-stopping than if they had two stops. And once more we are coming close to the main straight, and Kuko is even closer to Gabi than last time. Could this be the lap Kuko makes the move? And I think Gabi's gonna regret that early pit stop. It catapulted him into the lead, but now he's gonna come falling down because those tires simply have not got the same pace. Even though it's only one lap more, you can tell that Kuko and Sully have got a lot more pace than Gabi has got at this moment in time. We see him still just hang on to the back of Kuko River, staying in that dirty air and conserving the tire, it seems. Happy to kind of follow him to the end. He knows the time penalty he has. There isn't much hope of getting more than a P6 out of this unless Kuko's and Sean's tires blow. So I guess he would only be helping Kuko River if he were to make the move on him. Aussie is back in the pits after only 9 laps in the hard. I can only guess that he is scared of another puncture. Serving a time penalty as well. Of course, he got a 10-second speeding penalty when he pitted with that front left puncture. The car just wouldn't stop whatsoever. And he's going to go onto some mediums and rejoin the race in last position. And now look at these three. As if dirty here isn't a thing. How close Kuko and Sully are able to follow through here. And surely this is the lap that Gabri loses at least one, if not two places down this main straight. Kuko and Sully are so unbelievably close. Gabri is gonna burn some overtake. Kuko, now the DRS enabled. Is he close enough? Sully is definitely too far behind for Gabri. But Kuko pulling closer and closer and closer and pulls to the inside. And up the inside Kuko goes. Gabri cannot hold around the outside. Kuko takes the lead of the Grand Prix. And with that, a crucial overtake. Can Kuko now drive away to make sure he has that race in the back? Gabri being attacked by Sully immediately. Sully knows what's at stake here. This could be a crucial race for the championship as Flavors disconnects from the race, from the lobby. I'll try and invite him as quickly as I can to get him back into the race. He was in the points there, so that's very unfortunate for him. Would help if he was showing online. There we go. Invite sent to Flavors. Gabri following Kuko really closely though, so despite the fact that Kuko was so much faster in him earlier, it seemed like, Gabri is also able to stay well close to him, so this race far from over. Gabri now to DRS enabled, overtake mode used. Can he get back into P1 here? Gabri up the inside, one lap after Kuko passing him, Gabri re-overtakes him straight away and reclaims the lead of this race. So it seems like this battle is going to go down to the line. Kuko and Gabri closely matched on pace now. Kuko was able to get close to him, close that gap that was opened up after the pit stop phase. But he can't just drive away, it's not going to be that simple for Kuko, he has to do it the hard way. Flavors into the pits. For 5 laps from the end. Can only guess that that's his AI is doing, and that's really unfortunate. It's gonna cost him a chance at some points. Lanky Brown now the 3-second time penalty as well. And Flamer's gonna rejoin the race behind Lanky Brown in 50. Ahead of Lanky Brown in 14th, I think. Or is he? It's gonna be close. Lanky down the main straight. And he's gonna be in 14th, and there comes Flavors in 15th. Doesn't at least stay ahead of Action Rick. But still, he's not going to be happy in the pit stop. Mihai now with a 3-second time penalty. He's currently running in 10th. And that penalty is going to make it a struggle for him to beat Vandenfox in that 10th position. Vandenfox 4 seconds back with better tires. 5 laps to go. I think Vandenfox has got himself a chance at some points in this race. Sean is staying closer and closer though. 4 seconds now the gap from Sully to him. But has he got enough time left in this race? I don't think so. I don't think Sean has got enough laps left to get back into this battle. Especially because those tires are going to be screaming for help on these last couple of laps. Kuko now with a 3-second time penalty. Kuko! No! And Sully, immediately, now he knows that he's going to have a chance here to at least get P2 out of this race. Now that Kuko's got a time penalty as well. But for Gabri, this is absolute heaven, because it means the only 2 drivers that he's battling on track right now, it doesn't matter. He can let them go if he wants. As long as he stays within 3 seconds of them, he has won this race. And he's got so much ES, he 100% a full charge of battery for Gabri. And if you can just bring that tire over the line, if you can just stay within 3 seconds of Kuko and Sully, he has got this race in the back. Sean though, with both Sully and Kuko having 3 seconds, and him getting closer and closer, there we go, he's gonna start pushing like hell in these last couple of laps to try and claim that 2nd place in this race. This race still far from over. Pisibuli still in the same position he's been in for a while now, just staring at the back of an Alpine. Hasn't even tried to go for a move at any point. Like I said, he's just looking after the tire, I'm pretty sure. Making sure it gets to the end. But we are getting into crunch time now. Kuko is going to try and re-overtake Gabri. He's not going to want to just give up on that race when on track at least. Gabri trying to hold on around up the inside, but Kuko is able to swoop around the outside. But as long as Gabri can stay in DRS, there really is no big harm here in Kuku getting past. Sean, 3.7 back from Sully. So he'll try everything he can to bring that gap down. But it does of course mean if Sean's going to start pushing now very hard, he's going to put a lot of load on that front left. He needs to make sure the front left doesn't blow up. It would be lovely if I could see tire wear numbers. Unfortunately, I'd have to download the telemetry tool and get all of us to share the telemetry, which I cannot be bothered. So we'll just have to wait and see to see if any tires blow up. I can't tell you whether they will blow up. I mean, even if I had the telemetry, I can only tell you whether they might blow up. I could tell you if they are reaching 80% and if there is a chance. Of course, even if you reach 80%, you can get lucky and just have the tire not blow up. It's possible. But it's equally possible that the second you reach 80%, the tire goes pop and your race goes up in flames. Gabri has managed to stay in the Kuku crucially. He's not going to be able to be overtaken here, he's just a bit too far away from that. But he doesn't need to, he can just kind of chill 4/10 back. Oh, he is going to be able to overtake Gabri, but he doesn't. He had a chance for sure, but he decided, why go for a late move there down the inside to turn 1, even if it's on, if it's possible. All that he's doing is risking his race. Smart move from Gabri to stick behind. Picks now with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. It's worth mentioning actually, as we're coming to the last couple of laps here in this race. The only team in Division 2 history that has not won a race so far is Haas. And Gabri might be on his way to finally changing that. 2.5 at this point laps to go, and at the moment Gabri has got the race win. The only drivers he's racing have got time penalties. The next driver without a penalty, 4 seconds back from him. The only question is if he can bring the tire to the end. It will be a 19 lap hard stint for Gabri. So a big ask from that front left that we've seen struggle two drivers quite badly with already, and I don't think those will be the only one. Sean is now dropping back a little bit from that top 3, so I think his tires are starting to show quite a bit of wear. He's probably still going to be trying to get into the 3-second range of Sully, but I'm not sure he's has got much hope at this point. Guga is actually getting closer to him, and of course he's going to lose loads of time down the straight every single time with the DRS that Sully has got. In the meantime, always on probably the loneliest race I've ever seen a man have in Division 2, he's got 11 seconds ahead, 13 seconds behind. Marcelio with a 3-second time penalty now. As we come into the last 1.5 laps. Gabri on his way to what would be a crucial race win. He has had such a tough start in the season. He absolutely needs this win. Marcelio in the pits now, maybe trying to go for the fastest lap. Flavors just said it as well, I believe, on the fresh mediums he's got. As Mihai makes a move from Bazooka up into 9th, sorry. He's not going to have to try and build a 3-second lead over the next couple of laps with the time penalty that he's got. Lanky Brown in the pits as well. Same thing as Marcelio, going for the softs and to try and steal the fast lap in the end, doesn't get at least 1 point out of this Grand Prix. And Kuko goes completely wide out the second to last corner there. I mean, if you already have a penalty, if you have a warning left that doesn't matter if you take it, you might as well. We've got a yellow flag for DC Viral, and he's got a front left puncture. On the second to last lap, Viral's front left tire has blown up on 17 lap old hards, and if we look at the front 3, we've got 17, 18 and 16 laps. As we see what he makes to move on Google River now on the last lap. I mean, I don't think we'll be seeing any big moves happening on track, but we've just seen Viral's tire blow up. He's out of the points now. And of course, he's gonna keep causing yellow flags here as he tries to crawl back in the pit lane. Is he gonna be the only one, or is anyone else in big trouble here? At the end of the race, yellow flags in Sector 3, that's once again Viral, isn't it? Action Rick hasn't blown tire, no, it's just Viral. But heartbreak for Viral, he's had such a great start in the season, and now, what would have been another points finish, goes out the window with a second to last lap puncture. Kuko, Gabri, Sully enter the last sector. Kuko in the lead of the race on track, but Gabri is going to claim this race win unless we've got one more twist to the story here in Qatar. Gabri, such a crucial race win this would be to light his championship charge back on. And now we come across the last corner, and it is going to be Gabri who wins the Qatar Grand Prix. Very, very crucial win for Gabri. Like I said, the first win for Haas in their Division 2 history. Kuko in second place, Sully with a strong third place as well. Not quite the 3 wins in a row he's had, but still a 100% podium rate this season. Sean brought the tyre home, 14 lap old mediums. Very impressive to make that stint last all the way to the end. Only 6/10 back from that penalty range of Sully. Then Guga in 5th place, Pisibuli in 6th, the penalty and a tyre blowout. Still a very, very good recovery drive and a very good result for him. Always in 7th, down to the line. Mihai in 8th. He has got Bazooka within the 3-second range, so it will be Bazooka in 8th, and then Mihai in 9th. And then we've got Vandenvox finishing in 10th position, 1 point for him at least. Pix comes home in 11th. And then we've got Flavors actually beating Pix on penalties. Flavors 11th, then Pix. Action Rig coming home in 13th. 23.494 to beat for Marcelo and Lanky Brown. Let's see if they can get the fastest lap. So Action Rig 13th on track, but it will go to Aussie with the penalties, and then Action Rig 14th. Marcelio and Lanky Brown chasing that fast lap, 23.494. Marcelio has not got it. What about Lanky Brown? Is he going to get at least 1 point out of this race? He is. 2 points for Ferrari here, P10 for Phantom, and the fastest lap from Lanky Brown. At least it's something, but not exactly a great result for them. But a great result, for sure, for Gabri, back on the top step of the podium. A horrid season he's had so far. And he says, let me hear it. Where are the haters? A full Italian podium as well here in Qatar. With the Tifosi. I mean, even if their beloved Ferrari is having a very, very bad race, at least they've got something to cheer for, because Gabri, Kuko and Sully 1, 2 and 3. Sully extends his championship lead to Pisibuli and Sean. And Gabri, well, it's going to be hard to overcome the gap that Sully has built up. But he does announce himself as at least one of the guys who's trying to overcome that gap. And here we have the full race results once more. It's been one hell of a race here, I must say. Really very, very enjoyable. There wasn't a whole lot of battling out on track, but the drama, even if I didn't actually see any tire blowouts on the last lap, just the fact that like from Rivals blowout I knew it could happen, had me very much excited still to see if anyone would make the line with 4 tires intact. It's very unfortunate for Ryan. He was certainly on for some points as well this Grand Prix, and would have continued his great season he's had so far. Yeah, 3 front left punctures in this Grand Prix. Aussie, Phantom Fox on the first stint, and then Rival on his second to last lap just before the end of the race. Well, that has been another very, very good installment of Season 17 in Division 2. Thank you very much for joining me for tonight at the Qatar Grand Prix. We have got the next race in Division 2 7 days from now, as always, Wednesday, 7:30 PM UK, the Singapore Grand Prix. And that should be a quite interesting race as well. The street circuit in Division 2. It's always got something for us, I would say. So looking forward to that one. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. And yeah, I'll be seeing you 7 days from now for the Singapore Grand Prix. And of course, on Saturday as well, the Qatar Grand Prix in Division 1 should be streamed by Gabri if he's available. So yeah, hope to see you for that. Have a good evening, and goodbye.